Now, the image that we are using in this particular study is the hyperspectral image of Henry Island in the Sundarbans region of West Bengal. How to download this image has already been demonstrated, and the objective of today's class will be to geometrically correct this hyperspectral image of the Henry Island of Sundarban. So by now, I hope all of you have downloaded the image. If not this image, any other image, there are so many data sets available. So try to download cloud-free data sets so that you are able to process the images without any problem, because ultimately you have to identify objects or classify objects in the image. So if the image is full of clouds, then identification will not be accurate. The Henry Island of Sundarban for demonstration in this class. See, as this is a satellite image processing class, when you process satellite images, there are certain steps involved. So you acquire the image, you pre-process the image, then you apply dimensionality reduction to reduce the number of bands. Then you try to identify the end members or the pure pixels in the image, because the pixels may be mixed in nature. And finally, you try to identify objects or classify the image. Now, I will be using this image to classify mangrove species that are present in the Henry Islands of Sundarban. So all of you are aware that the Sundarbans Delta is highly is a mangrove forested area, and that is why, and it harbors a lot of ecologically rare, endangered and endemic mangrove species. And classification of mangrove species is quite difficult, because if you try and understand, broad level classification is not so difficult. See, if you want to classify vegetation, if you want to classify water body, agricultural land, this is broad level classification, and this is quite easy also. But if you want to classify intra vegetation, that is, there may be different kinds of tree species available in the area. All are green in color and all represent vegetation. So if you want to differentiate between different kinds of tree species, that is not an easy task. Okay, so that is why I have chosen this particular problem. So because once you are able to solve this problem, it will be very easy for you to identify objects or classify images, where you have to just perform broad classification of images. And okay, so as a case study, the pristine mangrove habitats of the Henry Island has been selected, and this area is approximately 10 square kilometers in area. And as I said, that as Sundarban harbors a rich and biodiverse mangrove community, I have selected this study area for this class. Now, first of all, let us try and understand why we want to do geometric correction, or what is geometric correction. Now, along with the atmospheric generated errors that we had discussed in our previous classes, most commercial sensors have systematic as well as unsystematic geometric errors. Now, the systematic errors are removed in most of the cases, but unless otherwise processed, the unsystematic error remains in the imagery. Now, what is systematic and what is unsystematic error? Anyone? Sometimes systematic error is also known as internal error, and unsystematic error is known as external error. Internal geometric errors are generally introduced by the remote sensing system itself or in combination with the Earth rotation or curvature characteristics. This is systematic error or internal error. What does this mean? This means that these distortions are mostly predictable, and they are these errors can be identified and then corrected during the in-flight platform operations, like say information about the geometric characteristics of the sensor system and the Earth at the time of data acquisition. So this kind of information, the distortion that is generated due to these kind of characteristics, they can be very easily corrected. See, if the sensor characteristics are analyzed and say some error has crept up due to the Earth's rotation effects and maybe some scale distortion. So these kind of errors, they can be corrected by the agency itself before they are offering the image for download. So, so these are all systematic errors, and when we obtain the downloaded image, it is not we are not required to correct these kind of errors. But when the errors are external, that is unsystematic, then it is necessary for us to correct these errors. So these are the geometric errors that creep inside an image. The external geometric errors are usually introduced by phenomena that vary in nature through time. This means, what does this mean? This means that there are different causes of geometric error in remote sensor data due to random movements by the aircraft or the spacecraft. There may be altitude changes, there may be attitude changes at the exact time of data collection. Okay, so due to this random movement of the aircraft or spacecraft, the actual XY coordinates they are not properly represented, and due to this random movement of the aircraft, these errors creep inside the images. So when we are doing geometric correction, we are actually correcting this kind of error, that is the external error or the unsystematic error. See, again, if you go to this slide, what is written here, it is necessary to pre-process the remotely sensed data and remove the geometric distortion so that individual picture elements are in their proper planimetric map locations. That means what you do in geometric correction is the XY locations or the latitude, longitude values, they get distorted. So using the correction techniques, you assign proper XY locations to the different pixels that are present in the image. Because when you are doing satellite image processing, there must be some objective, say object identification or classification or change detection. There are so many things that you may want to do with your image. So if you have a wrong latitude, longitude value of a pixel, then it will not what will happen. You cannot locate the object in the correct position. If you are saying that your house or your school is in this specific coordinate, the geographic coordinate is say something, some value east, some value north, and some value east, and you say that this is the geolocation of my school, or this is the geolocation of my residence, or some other place. Now, if the location is wrong, then, and if you are trying to locate it through the satellite image, maybe the actual location is about say 10 kilometers away from your, it may be about 100 meters away from the area, or say 500 meters away from the area, and it will point to a wrong object, which is not desirable at all. So that is why you need to properly assign the correct XY coordinates of the image. So this is what is done in geometric correction. Okay. Now I will briefly go through the methodology part, after which I shall demonstrate the entire process in software. So right now it might be a little bit difficult for you to understand the methodologies, but once you start doing it hands-on, you can understand it very, very well. Okay, so once again, I would like to repeat that the image that I am using for this particular study is a cloud-free Hyperion data of the Henry Island of Sundarban region that was acquired on the 27th of May 2011. Okay, so if you want to download this image, this hyperspectral data, you can very well download it from the USGS website in the way I have already demonstrated. Okay, so the first thing is you have the image, and then you atmospherically correct the image. After atmospheric correction, you have to do geometric correction. Now, you have to first select the method of geometric correction. There are two methods. One is image to image registration, and the other is image to map registration. In image to image registration, what happens? You have the image which you need to correct, and you should have another image that is already registered. That means, and you should have a reference image or a base image which already has the correct coordinates embedded in it. So using that reference image, you will geometrically correct your uncorrected image. Okay, so in image to image registration method for geometric correction, the reference data, the reference image has to be selected, and the image whose distortion needs to be corrected has to be selected. Now, in this here, there is a translation and rotation alignment process by which two images of the same geometry and of the same geometric area are positioned coincident with respect to one another, so that the corresponding elements of the same ground appear in the same place on the registered image. You're getting what I'm trying to say? You are trying to overlay the one image on top of the other, and there is there is a rotation, translation and rotation alignment process going on. We will not discuss all these processes in detail, because our objective is not to study geometric correction in detail. It is a little bit complicated, and there are some mathematical processes aligned with it. So this is beyond the scope of the syllabus actually. So you just need to know that there is a translation and rotation alignment process by which the one image is overlaid on the other, and um, the objects are coincident with respect to one another, and the corresponding element of the same ground, they appear in the same place on the registered image. So on one image the coordinates are known to you, and on the other image it is not known. You need to place the coordinates on the coordinate of objects on the unknown image, uncorrected image. Now, a georeferenced Hyperion image of the study area that was acquired by the USGS, you can use it as a reference image. See, it depends upon which image you are downloading. Okay, if you are downloading a GeoTIFF image, then it has georeferenced, it contains lat long values in it. But the image that I have downloaded, it is L1R data. That means it is totally uncorrected. So I can use a georeferenced Hyperion image to correct this raw image that I have downloaded, or I can use another process, that is the image to map rectification. Image to map rectification means in this process, I am using a map. By which the geometry of an image is made planimetric. Now, whenever you need to measure an accurate area or direction, or if you want to measure distances, then image to image geometric rectification should be, image to map geometric rectification should be performed. Now, how this process is confirmed, I'll just demonstrate how to geometrically correct the image, then the steps will be clearer. I have opened NV software and I have opened a particular band of the downloaded hyperspectral image of Henry Island. I have shown you how to download the image, and I have opened a specific band. This band is in the infrared, near infrared region of the electromagnetic spectrum. It is 1033 nanometers, I think. So if you want to view this image, you open a band in 1033 nanometers. Okay. So I have opened the image. Now, where is how geometric correction is done? You click onto map, registration. Here you have to select GCP's image to image, image to map. Now you have to decide which method you want to apply. Now let us select GCP's image to image. Now, why I have selected, image to map. Why I have selected image to map is I do not have a georeferenced image of Henry Island right now with me. I don't even have a map with me, but I have the Google Earth image with me. All of you can view a particular area in Google Earth. That is not difficult. So I am treating the Google Earth image as a map. Okay. So let me open Google Earth and see. This is India, and now I want to go to the Sundarban area, and my island is Henry Island. So this is Henry Island. So you can easily find similarity between this image and the hyperspectral image that we have downloaded. Okay. So I am assuming that this is a map. And I'm also assuming that the latitude, longitude values that are visible here, see, every point has lat-long value, and it is being shown here. So assuming that this lat-long value is accurate enough, so what is the next step? The next step is you have to select GCPs, ground control points, isn't it? First is you select a method. What is the method that I have selected here? Image to map. Okay. Now the image is the uncorrected image of Henry Island, and the map is the Google Earth image that I have opened from the internet. Now the next step is you have to locate ground control points on the map as well as the image. Okay, so if I open NV software, see, I have selected image to map registration. Now, as I had told you, you have to specify the projection, you have to specify the datum, you have to set the zone of the study area. The projection is UTM for the Sundarbans area. The datum, you can find out the datum of the study area. It is WGS 84 for Sundarban. I know this, so that is why I'm directly putting it. So if the area is unknown to you and you do not know, then you have to find out, and then you can put the values over here. Units is meters. Units means this is the spatial resolution of the image. The spatial resolution of this particular hyperspectral image is 30 meters. The spatial resolution, so the spatial resolution of the image is 30 meters. So, and the unit is meters over here. The zone is 45. Pixel size is 30 meters. Y is 30 meters. I click OK. Now this dialog box opens. See, there are two boxes over here. The box on the right, on the left, lets you put the latitude and longitude values of the map of a particular GCP or ground control point in degrees, minutes and seconds. Or if you want to put it in east and north, that provision is also there. So in Google Earth, the lat-long values are there in degrees, minutes and seconds. So I have selected this particular option. So this is the lat-long value of a particular ground control point on the map. And on the right hand side, when you plot the GCP on the same location on the image, that is on the uncorrected image, the XY coordinates automatically get inserted over here. The values are XY because you still do not know what the latitude longitude value of the uncorrected image pixels are. Okay, so you have to plot a point on the reference map, and you have to plot a point on the uncorrected image. You will get values in both the boxes, and you have to select add point. Add point means this is the first ground control point that has been added on the image. So in this way, you keep on adding one point after the other, and you keep on checking the error also. You will see that the error is visible. It's there in the software, you can see. So if you see that you're getting more error, then you can delete a GCP and you can shift a location, or you can select a new GCP. Okay, so finally Okay, let us do it step by step. The first thing is you have to select a GCP on the map. So the location should be such that it should be easily identifiable. I was telling you when I was discussing about selection of GCPs, the location should be such that it should also be identifiable on the uncorrected image, plus the location should be consistent enough, like it should not change over time. Now, the intersection of a road does not change over time, but if you select a point somewhere over here in the mid of Bay of Bengal, somewhere on the river, on the water body, it will be very difficult for you to select a similar location on the uncorrected image, isn't it? But if you select a point like this, say, see, this is aquaculture area in Henry Island. These are মাছের ভেরি যেটা বলা হয়। So এগুলো সব হচ্ছে মাছের ভেরি. These are all aquaculture areas. This is also aquaculture in Henry Island. This is mangrove forest. This is mangrove forest. These are all forested areas. These are also forested areas. These are some deforestation has taken place. So it is very sparsely forested. This is dense. This is sparse. Okay, so then you have, this is the beach. This is the beach area. This is the sea beach. This is the sea beach, and this is the mud flat. To kada kada thake. This is the mud flat, and then the Bay of Bengal. And this is the. These are agricultural areas, and there are human settlements also. Human settlements are there, and this is a road. Okay, this is a road which is ultimately taking you to the beach. If any one of you have visited Henry Island or Bokhali, this is very near to Bokhali. So this is the road, and if you go from here, it will finally lead you to the Henry Islands sea beach. Okay, so now you have to plot a GCP on the map. Let us select some intersection which will be easy for you to understand. Let us select this point. 21 degree, 34 minutes, 26 seconds north, and 88 degree, 17 minutes, 43 seconds east. What was
21 degree, 34 minutes, 26 degree.
Sorry, 21 degree,
34, 26.
26. And longitude?
88, 17, 43.
Okay. So this is the Latran value of the image. Now we have to plot a similar point on the uncorrected image. This might be the point. See, why there is a difference in pixel resolution, isn't it? The Google Earth images has a much better spatial resolution, because of which you are able to see all the features very clearly. But in hyperspectral image, it is a 30-meter spatial resolution. That means 1 pixel represents 30 into 30, 900 square meter area on the image. So exact location of the GCP on hyperspectral image is very difficult. Like we are just, and there will be some error over here. So when we actually do georeferencing, we should try to use an image of similar spatial resolution. Okay. Anyway, this is just for demonstration. So let us see, this might be the point. This might be the location. So if this is a GCP of the uncorrected image, you can see that this is the XY value that has been written over here. If you change the location, see the value changes over here. So let us try to make it as accurate as possible. So this is the XY value on the uncorrected image. Now I add the point. So number of selected points is 1. Now I have to select a second GCP. Let us select a second GCP on Google Earth. Some other point, say, let us select this point. Okay, just write down the latitude longitude value: 21 degree 34 minutes 56 seconds north, and 88 degree 17 minutes 29 seconds east. Written?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let me minimize it. See, show list shows one GCP that has been plotted over here. Okay, now let me change the value. What is the value?
21 degree 34 minutes
Yes.
56 seconds.
56.
6.
Okay, and then
88 degree 17 minutes 29 seconds.
29. Okay, so this is the location on the map on Google Earth, and let us plot the same location. And see, this point is plotted. One, you can see this with the red font. This is the first GCP. Now the second GCP, let us locate it over here. Let us try to make it as much accurate as possible. So on the image, this is 147 and 2000. If you double click on this, if you double click on the image, you can see the cursor location. You can see the cursor location 174.1997. I think the row column values are the way they have plotted over here is a bit different. Anyway, so let us add the point here. So 2 points are selected. So in this way, you have to select as many points as possible. The more the number of points you select, the more accurate the final correction will be. Understood? So in this study area, this much is only Henry Island. So in this study area, try to plot at least 25 to 30 points. It is really very difficult to plot 30 points accurately on a hyperspectral image, because you can see how coarse the spatial resolution is, how difficult it is to accurately locate the points when you compare it with the Google Earth image. Anyway, you try to locate as many points as possible, and then what you do? What is the next step? You go to File and you save the ground control points as either map coordinates or lat long values, or as coefficients to ASCII. Now let us save it as map coordinates, and let us name it GCP map coordinates. Okay. Now let us also save it as latitude longitude values. GCP lat long values. And the third option is what happened? Oh, there are not enough points to calculate the polynomial coefficients. So you need to have at least 3 points. I have only 2 points now. So you need at least 3 points to be able to calculate the polynomial coefficients. So this will not work right now. So go to options. What was the next step? The next step was to find the correction technique, isn't it? So there are two options over here: warp displayed band and warp file. Warp means you have to apply the correction technique either on a specific band or on the entire image, on all the bands of the image. So let us select warp file, because if I select displayed band, then only this particular band will be corrected. All the other bands will remain uncorrected, which is not our objective. So I will select warp file. Oh, again this error is showing you must have at least 3 GCP points to warp. Okay, then I think let us add one more point. Otherwise, the geometric correction technique will not work. So let us select this point, this location. So please write down 21 degree, 34 minutes and 30 seconds north, then 88 degree, 16 minutes, 32 seconds east. Written? Have you written?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, now tell me, 21, 30 will be same?
30.
30. 88, 17 will be same?
Ma'am, it's 16. 88
1 second.
degrees, 16 minutes. Ma'am, 16 minutes and 32 seconds.
Oh, okay. 16 minutes and 32. And on the image, let us plot this point. This will be somewhere over here. So 109.17. Okay. Now we again save as map coordinates. I'll overwrite the file. Save as lat long. I again overwrite file. Now let me save it as coefficients. GCP. That's all right. Now these are the 3 points that we have selected. You can also predict, using the predict option, you can predict if you add a point and again predict, you add another point and predict. So based on your previous locations, based on the 3 locations that you have manually selected, you are predicting the 4th point, 5th point, 6th point, and so on. But this is, I will not suggest predicting the points with so less GCPs. If you have enough GCPs, if you have 25 to 30 GCPs manually selected, then you can predict. Because after selecting so less number of GCPs, 3 GCPs, 4 GCPs, the predicted value will not be correct. Okay, so try to manually select as many GCPs as possible. Then you can use the predict technique to further select the ground control points. Okay, so now go to options. As I said, warp file. The image, you have to select the image. The resized Henry Island, you have to select the atmospherically corrected image. So I think it was this one, Quack, isn't it? Quack Henry Island. So I open it, keep it selected. Let us check the spatial subset. Why is the image not there? I think the wrong band is selected over here. See, in the spectral subset, 189 by 242 bands. The bad bands have been automatically deselected. That is why 189 bands are there. So let us select OK, click on to OK, and let us check whether these values are all right or not. Now, warp parameters. Here we have to select, as I said, the correction technique. Let us select RST, then nearest neighbor, as we discussed. Based on its advantages, it does not change the original intensity value of the pixels. It selects the nearest neighboring pixel intensity value. Okay, so let us choose the output. So geometrically corrected Henry Island. So this is the output file name, and I click OK. So the image registration has taken place. This is the original uncorrected image, and now I close this. GCPs. Let me save the GCPs. Now, when I open an image, let me open an image. See what has happened to the image after correction. Can you tell me why this has happened? Please tell me why this has happened.
GCP point gulo select korar jonno.
Yes. I have selected only 3 GCP points, because of which the warping has been totally wrong. Because everything is dependent upon the points or the ground control points that I am choosing. So there are so many pixels in the image, and I have selected only 3 pixels based on which it has performed geometric correction. So the geometric correction is wrong over here. So you can very well understand now what will happen if you select less number of GCPs. So this is the entire process of geometric correction, and I'll just show you how the correct geometrically corrected image looks. That I'll just show you. Yes, so in this image, this is an image where besides Henry Island, this is Lothian Island. Lothian Island has also been selected, and several other, like this portion of the image has also been selected for geometric correction. Now, this is an atmospherically corrected image on which we have applied RST-CC, rotation scaling translation. This I've already told you. The correction technique, RST and CC, is cubic convolution. The interpolation resampling technique is cubic convolution that has been applied over here. And this is the final image, the geometrically corrected image that is visible. Now, when you apply RST BIL, BIL is bilinear interpolation. This is the output that you get, and this is RST NN. RST NN is nearest neighbor. And this is the output generated from polynomial cubic convolution georectified image. And this is polynomial nearest neighbor georectified image. So this is how the final image looks like. And in the rectified image, each and every pixel will have a latitude longitude value associated with it. Okay. Understood? So this is all about geometric correction and how you select GCPs and correction techniques and resampling techniques, how you apply it on an atmospherically corrected image, and finally get a corrected, a geometrically corrected or a georectified image. So this is the entire process. You can try it out